This is the Tis the Season. Make sure I have the right name for it. Tis the Season truck. Yes, Tis the Season truck ornament. And I'm going to show you, I've already got the basic painting done, and you'll be able to see like how some of the pieces were cut to make it work the way that it's supposed to. But I'm going to show you how to assemble it and maybe add some little detail touches if you'd like to. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. This is the little bumper. So this just gets glued right along here. Okay, so that was painted gray. If you don't already have yours painted, this will help you to know some ideas about painting it. And if you wanted to change colors, you could. You don't have to do it the colors that I painted, but if you use the paint that came in the kit, this is the way it was intended to be painted. Okay, this little piece, on yours it should be all one piece. On mine it painted, I'm sorry, it cut. The dogs playing in the background are distracting me, if you can hear them. Okay, so that gets laid right there. Mine got cut there instead of scored. Yours should just have score lines right here. So should be able to just glue that as one piece. Let's do the tailgate next. That goes in the little score here. If you had any problems popping any of these pieces out and any of them broke, I mean, don't be surprised. These are very, very intricate, especially these truck ornaments. They're very teeny tiny little pieces. And so if they broke on you, it's not a big deal. When you go to glue them down, you just glue them down by their pieces. The video I just did, the candy cane lane one, if you want to watch that and see how I put it back together, because the candy cane lane words broke very badly on mine. So as I glued it down, it was broken, and I just glued the individual pieces, and then any places where it was joined, like here, a little bit of the paint tore off when I popped that out. You can just take your little detail brush and go back over that with some paint after you kind of glue all the pieces together, and it winds up looking just fine. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this trim piece over the top like this next. And you want to just kind of run some glue along. There's not a lot of surface area. And then I'm going to, on a paper towel over here I have to the side, I'm going to dab that off a little bit and then lay that on. You want just a little bit of glue. You don't want that oozing out. It will dry clear, but it dries shiny, so you still can see it. All right, I'm going to do this. This is the little rear view window mirrors. That's these little gray pieces right here. Let's go right there. Okay, the little circles are these little lights. I'm gonna go ahead and it doesn't want to come, so I'm gonna pop that. Go ahead and do these two while I've got these here, and then the license tag. Just a little drop of glue. It doesn't take very much, even with your wood glue. Probably even more so with your wood glue. It doesn't take much at all. These little tiny pieces, if you have some tweezers, it really does work so much easier because your fingers just kind of get in the way. Okay, since this is right here, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down also. All right, the tis the season words, they're so little. I find that the best way to put glue on those is maybe a paper plate or even just a paper towel here like this. And then take it and like just kind of touch it in there and then touch it off. And that way it just gets a little bit of glue on the back. These truck ornaments are super cute, but all these little parts are so intricate. Okay. Now, where on yours it's scored, that's showing the bottom of this little fence railing thing. So you're only going to need to put the glue on the bottom of that little fence, the bottom row. And then that should line up right there on the bottom. The piece that goes up here actually slides up underneath that. All right, let's go ahead and put that piece together. I'm going to pull this over here. All right, so all these little pieces go to that part that's going to be the little ornamentation that goes there on the back of the truck. So we should have had this little cocoa cup, so that'll fit right on top of there. That doesn't need to be painted when you do that. And then what I did was I popped these little pinwheels out and painted them separately, so it wasn't so hard to have to do that detail. Okay, so line up, I was forgetting that for a second. Line up the handle and this side edge. It's okay that this shows, I'm going to show you why in just a second, but it's okay that that's extra at the bottom. That's supposed to be like that. Okay, the whip topping. Okay, that should also line up with the top. And then your little candy cane, that's another piece that might do better just to put a little bit on a paper towel or a plate and do it with your tweezers. And then the little bow kind of goes at the base of the candy cane and the top of the whipped topping. So, right about there. Move that over just a tad. There we go. All right. And then the snowflake is just going to go where that snowflake is etched in there. And kind of try to cover that up with that snowflake. Okay. All right. I think that for getting, you're not going to have a whole lot of surface area to glue this back into. So go ahead and pop those back in. And then you're just going to add a little bit of glue at the very bottom. That's the only place where they're going to touch the back of the truck. And then just the very bottom, that little area that I showed you. You might have to hang on to this a little bit. This one's tighter than the other one. Okay, that little area down there is what's going to slide in on the truck. That little fence railing I was saying down there. Okay, so it kind of slides under, and then that little bit of glue should stick back there. Now you'll see that right here, when I popped this pinwheel out, it pulled some of the layer of the plywood off. So I'm just going to take a detail brush. Any places that you see, there was also these little places right here on the letters that you can just take your little detail brush and fill those in so they don't show. If you want it to look, you know, you're perfect. You're a perfectionist. You want it to look really nice. I'm going to do just a little bit on that green down there too. And then all we're going to do is just add a few little dots and swishes on this one. This one doesn't have a whole lot of detail painting on it. It's got so much intricate detail just with it to begin with. It doesn't need much. Okay, I take a little bit of white, okay, and just put it on a plate, paper towel, whatever. And you can do some little dots. I do some right here. There's 1, 2, 3. Just a little. Oops. Okay. And then take your detail brush, your smaller brush, and I just do a little detail right here, going around this corner. Okay. And then at the base of where their little swirl is, you can do 3 more dots. All right. That's it. That's all I add to this one. I don't add a whole lot of detail to this one, like I said, because it's got so much detail just with the makeup of the design. Doesn't need much. Let me do my heat gun real quick. Try to dry those dots so they don't get smeared when we do the top. I'm going to show you how to put the bow and the bead on top. Okay, those are not all the way dry, but I'll try to be careful. Okay, so you should have gotten a piece of twine in your kit, and then you picked out a bead and a bow. Okay, so you're going to take your twine, you're going to fold it in half, and then where it meets halfway, that's what you're going to push through the front to back of the hole on top. And then you're going to put the ends, these other loose ends through this hole that you just, the circle that you made, and you're left with a little loop right there. Put the bow in that loop and then tighten that down as tight as you can. Then go ahead and thread your bead on. You may need to trim the twine at a little angle if you can't get it to thread easily, and then tie a knot as tight and as close as you can to that bead. Hold all that together. All right, then I measure 3 fingers and tie another. That's just kind of my measuring way of how long I'm going to leave that tie there to hang on the tree. So about 3 fingers. And tie that down. Just cut off that excess, and that's it. That's the 'Tis the Season truck ornament. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed.